And hello, today, very simple video because we're looking at a mic. Hello. Oh, it's not plugged in. Shure Nexadyne guitar amp micy thing. Different shape. Let's take it out of the box.
The Nexadyne 5, oh, it shines so bright. Oh yeah. Catching every groove, every note, every bite. Say what? Got me sounding crispy, smooth, and divine. This mic's so slick, I'm claiming it mine. Ooh, Nexadyne, make it funky all the time. Funk it up, hey. You capture my soul, every rhythm, every rhyme. Woo! Crystal clear, you're the plug for my line. Plug me in. Oh, Nexadyne 5, you so sublime. Built so strong like a beat that won't break. Every bar I spit, this mic will intake. No hiss, no fuss, just pure sound.
Now, as you just said, it looks like a shower head. Can wash my hair. So the idea is, it's an NXN5, and we can talk about frequency responses and all that. It's pretty pronounced at the top end, or high mids, let's call it that way. But it is a mic that is a bit easier to position, or differently, let's call it, to position than a 57. We can talk stats and frequency response curves and dynamic response and signal to noise. That's all rather boring and I don't really care. I put it in front of a cab and then find out what it does well and use it as an alternative to other mics. And I use a variety of mics, primarily, honestly, Shure, Sennheiser, we got the classics, and some ribbons from AEA, which is absolutely, it's a very different price range. But honestly, as a, go-to live mic, as an alternative to a 57, it is rather more expensive than a 57. It's between 200 and 300 euro. But since the 57, SM57, is of course out of the same house, Shure, and is the reference for guitar, speaker, cab, miking, we're gonna compare it to that. So this is a very simple video. We have this Tone King Imperial Mark II here with the Tone King Imperial cab. We smack this in the appropriate position, slightly off-center of the cone, listen to it, and then we do that with the 57. Then you know where this sits in reference to the 57, and then you know whether this is an alternative or a variation to the 57 that you want. I wouldn't call it an alternative. It has a more pronounced, we're gonna find out. I will install it now on the cab. Of course, it comes with a clampy clamp. Why am I trying to do this? It's been a long day and it's not over yet. So, this is what we're doing, obviously.
Nexadyne, you my partner, yeah, you're the fit.
It's about where it should be. This is not massively scientific. We're not going millimeter by millimeter. It's guitar, Find the right spot, play well, you're good. I'm not the one marking cabs and stuff like this. That's not me. Clean. I have a hunch with what I heard earlier in the headphones when I was setting up levels that this is probably a very good mic for more detailed, top-endy, aggressive sounds with a 412 and a 8-string and stuff like this, which is exactly what we're not doing here, because there's other channels doing that. And I'm pretty sure that you need a video where we also hear it with more subdued sounds, which is what we're doing. That's a great sounding amp. And I don't know what you're hearing because I don't have my ears on the mic. I will know that when I'm editing the video. So let's switch it for the trusty 57. That seems to be the right position. We can't get them both in the same position because that is physically not possible. Two objects cannot something about occupy the same space. Look it up, there's rules on that. Now, of course, I played different things and stuff like this. Let's do one thing, slightly scientific. Let's loop it. Switch mics, see what happens. There you have it. Shure Nexadyne. New mic from Shure, new series for instrument miking. There are drum mics. You could probably, I mean, it's advertised for guitar, but you could probably run this in front of a bass cab, probably brass. You know, it's always kind of similar with the distortions and stuff like this. From what I heard when I was leveling, this has more bite in the upper mids and could be a nice alternative to a 57. Could be good, again, who knows, I don't know, to run it a little bit further out on the speaker. It's maybe a little bit more forgiving in terms of the dullness that it won't produce if you're running it a little bit further away from the cone. But again, this can only give you the tiniest bit of, oh, that's roughly what that does compared to a 57. Then you order it, then you try it. There's no substitution for you checking it out with your cab, which sounds completely different than mine, with your amp, which sounds completely different than mine, with your playing, which is completely different than mine, in your environment, which is completely different than mine. There's nothing else we can do to convince you that this is the mic. Oh, that's what it sounds like. No, that is what it sounded like here. What it sounds like in your environment is something you have to find out by using the link under the video, thanks to Doman, and buying it, checking it out. And if you don't like it, you got 30 days to return it. So just return it if you don't like it. It's literally no catch, zero catch. Shure Nexadyne. Cab, amp, guitar, mic. Check it out. Don't check it out. Do whatever. Links below. Add-ons at the end.
The bitch is there. She died of an STD, and no one came to her funeral. They did not want to be seen. Ding dong, the slave is dead. His back pain he couldn't stand.
So the prospect of deep pockets somehow stood out.